Multiplying rational numbers can involve multiplying many different kinds of numbers, but we're going to focus mainly on fractions and integers. So we're going to quickly review how to multiply integers and fractions. So to multiply integers, often we say that if the signs are the same, it's going to be positive. If the signs are different, it's going to be negative. So if you have negative 5 multiplied by negative 3, you're going to get a positive 15 since the signs were the same. So the negatives cancel. If you have, let's say, negative 7 multiplied by positive 3, your answer will be negative 21. So the signs are different, your answer is negative. Now if you have, let's say, 3 negative signs, negative 2 multiplied by negative 3 multiplied by negative 5, well, negative 2 multiplied by negative 3 would give you a positive 6. Positive 6 multiplied by negative 5 gives you negative 30. So that's a quick review of multiplying integers. Rules to multiply fractions. Well, let's say you had 2/3 multiplied by 4/5. All you really need to do is multiply the tops together, multiply the bottoms together. So 2 times 4 is 8 over 3 times 5 is 15. So that's the basic way to multiply fractions. You might need to simplify that after. So if we were to do this multiplication, okay, so we're going to combine integer rules and fraction rules. So 2 times 5 would give you 10. Over 3 times 8 would give you 24. A negative times a positive would give you a negative. And then we could simplify this fraction to negative 5 over 12. Okay, this next one, the exact same numbers. So we know we're going to get 5 over 12. And it's going to be a positive because both numbers are negative that we're multiplying. Now we're going to go over the canceling method because this can make multiplication much easier. So basically, like when you have equivalent fractions, you divide the top and the bottom by the same number and it simplifies the fraction. You can do the same thing with multiplication, only usually we do cross canceling. So we still divide the top and the bottom by the same number. So in this case, negative 4 over 9 times 27 over 32. Okay, I'm going to start with the 4. I can divide the top and the bottom by 4. So if I divide this by 4, I'm going to get 1. And I divide this by 4, so that cancels. I'm going to get 8. Okay, now I can simplify a little bit more. I could divide this by 9. This would be 1. Divide this by 9. I would get 3. So now I have actually 1 over 1 times 3 over 8. So I'm going to do my just straight across multiplication. I'm going to get 3/8. But I don't want to forget to look at the signs again. I got a negative fraction multiplied by a positive fraction. So my answer ends up being negative. Okay, let's try that on this next one as well. So I look at the 5. Can 5 go into anything on the bottom? No, so that's not going to cancel. But on this other fraction, I have 8. And on the bottom here, I have 16. So 8 will actually go into the top and the bottom. So I'm going to divide by 8. Divide by 8. So this becomes 1. This becomes 2. Now I'm going to just multiply straight across. So 5 times 1 is 5 over 2 times 13 is 26. It's a negative times a negative, so it's going to end up being a positive. So that is my solution to that question. Let's try another one here. So I can recognize that 8 and 64 have a common factor of 8, so I could divide by 8. Divide by 8. I'm doing on the top and the bottom. That will keep it equivalent. So this becomes 8, this becomes 1. Now 15 and 25 have a common factor of 5, so I'm going to divide by 5 on the top and the bottom. So this one becomes 3, this one becomes 5. And now I can multiply straight across. So 1 times 5 is 5. 3 times 8 is 24. And look at my sign, it's a negative multiplied by a negative. So my answer will now be positive. One more example here. This is a mixed number, so we need to change them to improper fractions before we do our multiplication. So 5 times 2 is 10 plus 2 is 12 over 5 multiplied by 7 times 4 is 28 plus 2 is 30 over 7. Okay, now we're going to see if we can cancel anything. Well, we can because 5 goes into 5 and 5 goes into 30. So let's divide the bottom and the top by 5. So this cancels, it'll give me 1. This cancels to give me 6. So I can multiply straight across now. Okay, my top will be 12 times 6, which is 72, over 1 times 7, which is 7. Now my original question, it's a positive times a negative, so my answer is going to be a negative. And if I wanted to change that back to a mixed number, it would be 10 and 2/7. And don't forget that negative sign. So that is some rational number multiplication. This slide just has a puzzle. If you're finished and you want a challenge, you can try this. Pause the video because I will reveal the solution in a couple of seconds, but make sure you try it hard first.